Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about art a lot, actually, between the 3 uploads or the hour-long upload, if that's the one you're watching, or half hour, sorry. Um, Now, it was going to be an hour, but that was scripted, and I had the entire first episode scripted, and I recorded some of it and listened back to it, and it felt more like I was talking at the viewer, you, rather than talking to them. And the difference I feel is with this, it feels like more of a conversation. And with art, I feel like it definitely should be more of a conversation and not just a lesson. So, in this 3 part miniseries, we're going to be covering the importance of interpretation. Episode 2 will be the forms of art and how many people can use that to express themselves freely. And the third episode will just be why it's important to me and what I think art is going to do to help me personally. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. The interpretation of art is important in itself because it shows you that two different people can see the same exact image in two different ways. I'm now going to put up a picture of a sunset, and I'm going to give you a couple seconds just to see what comes to mind when you look at it. Do you have your thoughts gathered? Now, where some of you may just look at it and be like, it's just a sunset. Like, it's cool, but it's just a sunset. Some of you may find it beautiful. Some of you may even trail off and just go look at other images of sunsets. But please don't do that until the video's over. No, I'm kidding. But that's the thing. There's no wrong answer there. You could have any feeling about that, and you would be correct, because art is up to interpretation, which is the main point I want to get across in this video. I'm going to show a piece now. I don't remember his name, but it will be on screen with it. Is a piece of art that I came across which actually stunted this entire special. That I don't know, I still can't describe it. But looking at it, it makes me profoundly sad in a way that I can't really put into words. And I also showed it to 2 other people. One of them saying, yeah, it's really good. The other one saying, it doesn't make me sad, but it does make me happy in a way. And this is that image. Something about it, I don't know if it's the colors, the atmosphere, the detail, but it hits me a certain way that I can't explain. And it's really the catalyst of this whole series, like I said. So I wanted to dig more into it, and I wanted to get back in that. Just that one drawing was enough to make me want to start drawing again. I haven't attempted to draw until now since middle school, and I was pretty good. I wasn't like top notch, but I was pretty good. And that's the thing too, is I have been in secret working on a little drawing for the past couple days now. Definitely underestimated how much time I had, how long it would take me. But whereas I kept seeing issues and problems, and I didn't like this or that about it, the people that I did show it to, that did know about this miniseries, were like, no, like, it's really good. Like, you're being too hard on yourself, and it's hard not to. But that's where the interpretation part comes in. Whereas you may be your own worst critic, you may have flocks of people telling you your art is incredible. Another way to look at interpretations of art is Rorschach testing. I'm just going to put a couple on screen. I'm not going to pause and ask you what you think, but Rorschachs can be used to kind of study the mentality of people based on what you see first. Whereas you may have one where somebody sees a bear, you may see a butterfly. And I am not a psychiatrist, so I couldn't tell you what that means. But, and even though it is in the psychological field, I still think something about that is beautiful. And the interpretations, I know I'm using that word a lot, but it's the main point of this video, is I think the power source of all art in general. Because we'll get into it next video, but music can be art, and you might interpret some music as art, whereas for me personally, I do enjoy music, but the one I guess consider the most artistic, and this wasn't even an intentional thing back then, but is really early, like 30s to 50s music, where you can hear the hiss of the gramophone, the background noise a little bit, the humming of the instruments. That hits me a certain way. It's a feeling. It's how I interpret it. But you show it to some other people and they're like, yeah, Nick's weird. It makes sense. It fits with him. But yeah, I think that in itself is such a beautiful thing to be able to witness and be a part of. And I keep wanting to get into it, but we will next time, or next episode, which you may even watch right after this one. I think when people think of art, they overlook how important it is, because it can determine an entire person's aesthetic in terms of art. It can determine someone's entire music taste or movie taste. It's just what you think to be art in itself, if that makes sense. Like with that picture I showed, I absolutely love that picture. But there may be people who are like, there's no way that's real. And I could definitely see where they're coming from, but I truly believe he put his heart and soul into that. And like I said, it hits a chord in me that's so strong, and I can't explain it. I wish I could, so that you could feel the way I feel while looking at it. But who knows? Maybe you have felt that same exact feeling towards something else, whether it be a person or an animal or a scene or anything or a smell, what have you. It just really varies person to person. And I think that's something that needs to be looked into more in art, is not just, oh, this is a good piece, this is a bad piece, this is a good song, this is a bad song. I think really starting to ask people how they feel about art or what it makes them think should be more of a driving force when looking at it, because you can really start to dig in and like find your niche with the whole area. Like I said, whether it be drawing and painting or movies and music. And it's just so much more special than I think people realize when they're looking at it at just face value. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because art also isn't for everybody. It's definitely not a small category of people, but it's not for everyone. And that's perfectly okay, because that's why there's no law against not liking art. That's why, well, there is criticism, but it's a personal thing. And again, I'm sorry if this is all over the place. I really wanted this to feel more like a conversation and have like actual emotion, because I'm very passionate about the way I feel about this. I've wanted to get back into drawing for a while, but I just haven't. And that one drawing was enough to make me look back into all this and realize why I used to and why I'm starting to again in the first place. But that's something we'll save for the third video. And, like I was saying, as far as this video goes, just next time you're looking at art or someone is showing you a drawing or you're at a museum, don't look at it at face value. Try to dig down and see if there's a bigger, stronger feeling that this is giving you. And if it's not, again, it's fine. But if it does, sometimes you just really need to channel it. Like the first time I saw that drawing, it almost brought me to tears, because it's just something makes me sad about it. And that's just what I'm getting at is don't take all art for exactly what you see. This was episode 1 of Art, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can walk away from maybe each one of these episodes, but at least this episode with something, you know? See ya.